In early June 1942, the Pacific Ocean became the stage for one of the most decisive battles in modern history. Just 6 months after the attack on Pearl Harbor, the Imperial Japanese Navy appeared unstoppable. Its aircraft carriers had swept across the Pacific, defeating Allied forces and expanding Japan's control at an astonishing pace. Many believed nothing could stop them. But beneath the surface, the balance of the war was already beginning to shift. American codebreakers had spent months intercepting and analyzing Japanese naval communications. Working around the clock, they gradually uncovered the enemy's next objective, a small, isolated island known as Midway Atoll. Located roughly halfway between Asia and North America, Midway seemed insignificant on a map. Yet its strategic position made it one of the most valuable locations in the Pacific. If Japan captured the island, it could threaten Hawaii and strengthen its defensive perimeter across the ocean. American commanders realized they had a rare opportunity. Instead of waiting for the attack, they decided to prepare an ambush. The U.S. Navy secretly moved its available aircraft carriers, Enterprise, Hornet, and the damaged but rapidly repaired Yorktown into positions northeast of Midway. The plan depended on one thing: remaining undetected. Meanwhile, the Japanese combined fleet advanced with overwhelming confidence. Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, the architect of the Pearl Harbor attack, believed the American fleet had been weakened beyond recovery. His goal was simple: lure the remaining U.S. carriers into battle and destroy them. On the morning of June 4, 1942, Japanese aircraft launched from their carriers and flew toward Midway. Soon, explosions echoed across the atoll as bombs struck airfields, fuel storage areas, and defensive positions. But the attack achieved only part of its objective. Midway was damaged, not defeated. As Japanese aircraft returned to their carriers, reports suddenly reached the fleet. American ships had been sighted nearby. In a matter of minutes, the battle changed completely. The hunters were no longer certain who was hunting whom. Far beyond the horizon, American carrier aircraft were already taking off. Both fleets were now searching for each other across hundreds of miles of open ocean. Neither side knew that history was only hours away from changing forever. As American aircraft climbed into the morning sky, the battle became a race against time. Pilots searched an immense ocean where a single mistake in navigation could mean never finding the enemy or never finding their own carrier again. Fuel was limited. Every minute mattered. The first American attacks reached the Japanese fleet during the morning. Torpedo squadrons from Hornet, Enterprise, and Yorktown pressed forward at low altitude. Flying directly toward heavily defended warships, they faced intense anti-aircraft fire and attacks from Japanese fighter aircraft. The losses were devastating. Most of the torpedo bombers were shot down before they could score a successful hit. Yet their sacrifice changed the course of the battle. While Japanese fighters descended to engage the low-flying aircraft, the skies above the fleet were left almost unprotected. At that exact moment, American SBD Dauntless dive bombers arrived from high altitude. After hours of searching, they had finally located the Japanese carriers. Below them, the enemy fleet was in the middle of rearming and refueling. Aircraft for another strike. Bombs, fuel hoses, and ammunition were scattered across the flight decks. The carriers were at their most vulnerable. The American pilots immediately began their dives. One after another, aircraft plunged toward the ships at incredible speed. Within just a few minutes, powerful bombs struck Akagi, Kaga, and Soryu. Explosions erupted across the carrier decks as fuel and ammunition ignited. Thick black smoke rose high above the Pacific. 3 of Japan's most important aircraft carriers were suddenly burning beyond control. Only one carrier remained fully operational. Hiryu, determined to continue the fight, its aircraft launched a counterattack that successfully located the American carrier Yorktown. The ship suffered severe damage, forcing much of its crew to abandon it temporarily. But the battle was not over. Later that afternoon, American reconnaissance aircraft found Hiryu. Another wave of dive bombers was launched. Once again, bombs found their target. By sunset, Hiryu was burning as well. In a single day, Japan had lost all four fleet carriers that had participated in the attack on Pearl Harbor. The balance of power in the Pacific had changed forever. As night fell on June 4, 1942, the Battle of Midway was not yet over. Although four Japanese fleet carriers had been fatally damaged, both navies continued searching the Pacific, uncertain whether another major attack might come at dawn. For the United States, the priority was protecting its remaining carriers. For Japan, the situation was far more serious. The loss of Akagi, Kaga, Soryu, and Hiryu meant far more than the destruction of four ships. Those carriers had formed the core of Japan's naval striking force. Many of the highly trained pilots and experienced aircrews who had helped achieve the victories at Pearl Harbor and across the Pacific had also been lost. Replacing ships would take years. Replacing veteran aircrews would prove even more difficult. On June 5th, American reconnaissance aircraft continued tracking the retreating Japanese fleet. One final opportunity appeared. The heavy cruiser Mikuma, damaged during Japanese maneuvers, became separated from the main force. American carrier aircraft quickly attacked. Repeated bombing runs left the cruiser heavily damaged before it finally sank. Beneath the Pacific, its companion cruiser Mogami also suffered severe damage but managed to escape. By June 7th, the battle was over. Japan had lost four aircraft carriers, a heavy cruiser, hundreds of aircraft, and many of its most experienced naval aviators. The United States had lost the carrier USS Yorktown and the destroyer USS Hammond. But the American carrier force remained intact. The victory transformed the war. For the first time since Pearl Harbor, Japan had suffered a decisive strategic defeat. Its ability to launch large-scale offensive operations across the Pacific was permanently weakened. From that point forward, the initiative gradually shifted to the United States and its allies. Historians continue to describe Midway as one of the most important naval battles ever fought, not because it ended the Pacific War, but because it changed its direction. In just a few extraordinary hours over the open ocean, the balance of power had shifted. The empire that had seemed unstoppable had suffered a defeat from which it would never fully recover.